Sicily, the town they call it Nicosia, province of Enna.
The conditions of Italy in the 1940s and 50s was very poor economically and politically.
Then I grew up there for till 8 years old. After 8 years old, my dad he decided to move to North Italy because we were too poor, very poor.
Okay.
The best way was to move. So that was after war, and Sicily was really bad.
As we know, in World War II, Sicily was taken over by the Allies when they decided to go in from the soft underbelly of Italy during the Italian campaign. After the war, all of Sicily was in ruins.
We have a food because we were on the farm, but we have nothing else. So they would trade. My dad used to get some eggs and change for pasta or oil, and then in North Italy, it was a big change. North Italy was like in Canada. We have washrooms, we have a shower, we have work.
Did you have any relatives that fought in the war?
Sì,
Did your dad fight?
Mio nonno ha fatto la guerra. Mio nonno, la parte di mia mamma.
What about your dad?
No, my dad, no.
Why not?
Because there were more brothers, so he escaped.
At least 2 of the boys in the family had to go to war. The rest of them didn't. This way, they didn't have to sacrifice their whole family for the war. In my family, Graziano and Sigismondo went to war.
But he survived. After war, it was so poverty in Sicily, like they can survive. No, actually, my mom, nonno, he was a well-healthy man, and but then he went to war. He got killed in the war, and then my nonno, well off because of the heritage of that. He was healthy even on the war after, but when he died, of course, he has all of the property behind that were left to the kids. So, and that's why my grandfather, he was healthy better than us. He didn't have to move. My dad and my mom, they have no chance. And that time is not like, oh, we help you. Nobody helped the kids because that's the way it was. They were have enough for them, but no for the kids. So my nonno, 3 brothers and 1 sister. And that sister is the one in Montreal, Anna, still alive. But she emigrated here because the husband, after the war, they would do a draw.
Essentially, the way the Perro family made it to Canada was because of the lottery system. People will put their names in a draw for a free ticket to countries like Canada, America, Australia, or Switzerland. Once a person won, they could slowly bring the rest of their family.
My nonni came first, and then my nonni said, I have only 1 daughter and she's in Italy. I want her to be here. And so that's why I'm all here. We emigrated all of the family.
When you see how remote Nicosia is and how it's in the mountains, it's a couple hours from the ocean, and how difficult it is to get there, even today.
Yeah.
You have to go up windy roads, and it's uncomfortable, it's dark. And then finally get to these little towns, and all you see is acres of rolling farms.
Yeah.
You think to yourself, how did you get from there to here?
That time.
I know.
It's crazy. And that's
yeah.
What you
how
see-
did you do that 70 years ago? Like
And what you see today when you go, it's
But the food, even if it was a poor food, today is the luxury in Canada, in America.
when they're making pasta and beans as a authentic dish. That was a 4-man dish, way back in the wartime.
As a result, I have learned what the day-to-day life was like in Italy at the time. Not only do I know the political condition or the economic fails, but I have an idea of what the Italians were like at the time. To fight for the war, there was a medical test that people were required to pass. If they didn't pass, then they weren't allowed to fight in the war. There was something that people would do to themselves so they didn't have to fight. they would chop off their index finger. If you didn't have an index finger, then you couldn't shoot a gun. Their idea was, I have one less finger, but at least I'm alive. Another thing that surprised me was parents with their land ownership. Italians would have so many children that they didn't have enough money to spread it all between them. So instead, they would just keep it all for themselves until they died. Even then, only the oldest son would get the inheritance. Parents didn't help their own kids while they were struggling. They would work for their parents as kids, not earning anything, and then once they got married, they were on their own and had to fend for themselves. What I now know from History 12 was that World War II had a far-reaching socioeconomic impact in Europe. What I learned was that this directly affected my Italian heritage. The war led to a mass exodus in many countries, especially Italy. In essence, World War II was the impetus for how my family made it to Canada.
Porte canzone con uno stemma a rete,